Readers and writers, I know you have missed me and our common word study, so I wanted to give you one for today. Actually, you're going to have two this week, another couple to add to your batch. Okay, so today I want to introduce the common word study, dict, D-I-C-T, dict. Dict, the meaning of dict is to speak. Okay, it's that simple. Any word that has dict within the word, it has something to do with talking or communicating in some way. The word part for dict is it is a root. It is a root. And where did it come from? It came from the Latin language. Dict means speak in Latin. Okay? Some examples of words that contain the common word study dict would be the first one, dictate. Dictate. If you dictate something, what you do is you speak it and someone usually writes it down. Sometimes a secretary will be called into an office of the president or someone in charge, and they'll be asked to dictate a letter. What that means is the president or the boss is going to kind of speak off the top of his head, and the secretary writes things down. In other words, he kind of composes what he wants it to say, and the secretary dictates or writes it down and then revises it and sends it out. The second example of a word that contains dict would be to predict. You guys have heard that word before, predict. When you predict, sometimes your teachers will ask you to, predict what you think will happen in a story or make a prediction. When you predict, basically what you do is you say out loud what you think is going to happen. You predict. Pre actually is another prefix. It means before. So you're going to say what you think is going to happen before it does. You predict. And what you make is called a prediction. That's the actual idea that you come up with that you think is going to happen. The third word is a word that you hear around courtrooms quite a bit, and the word is verdict. Verdict. Now, a verdict is a decision. It's a decision that is said out loud by the jury. The jury are the 12 people that are brought on to hear the case, and after they've heard all the evidence and all the different arguments, they go in a quiet room and they talk about it, and then they come up with what's called a verdict. And the verdict is their decision, and the foreman, the head person for the jury, comes forward and out loud in the courtroom speaks the decision that they came up with. In other words, orally they share what they think the plea is, guilty or not guilty. So there you have it. So there are tons of words that contain the Latin root word dict, and your job is to be looking for those. And every time you come up with a word that has dict in it in some way, that word's going to have something to do with the idea of speaking something or sharing something orally. Okay? I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you soon.